Sadness is a shadow that follows a man, but joy is a sun that lights the path. Sadness is a wall between two gardens. Life is a constant exploration, and sadness is a part of it. Sadness is an emotion that we all, at least once, have felt in our lives. Feeling sad is, therefore, absolutely common and normal. The important thing is to know how to deal with this state of mind in the right way. Philosophy has always sought to address the human condition, including sadness and pain. Today, in a world characterized by rapid social, technological, and cultural transformations, philosophy offers tools to reflect on these emotional experiences. Here is an analysis of how contemporary philosophy addresses sadness. Sadness is a fundamental emotion that can arise from multiple causes: loss, loneliness, failure. In philosophy, sadness is often discussed in terms of existence and meaning. Thinkers such as Soren Kierkegaard and Friedrich Nietzsche explored grief as an integral part of the human condition, suggesting that addressing sadness can lead to greater understanding of the self and the world. Sadness doesn't make us better. It makes us understand that it's time to change. Nietzsche sees sadness not only as a negative emotion, but as a signal that indicates the need for personal evolution and transformation. For him, difficult emotions are an opportunity to grow and overcome oneself. One must have chaos within oneself to give birth to a dancing star. Although not directly addressing sadness, this famous quote reflects Nietzsche's idea that greatness and creativity can arise from inner turmoil and pain. Sadness can be seen as part of the chaos needed to produce something beautiful. My sadness is my castle, which closes like armor and protects me from the outside world. Kierkegaard explores sadness as a form of introspection and isolation. For him, sadness can become a defense against the outside world, a safe place to reflect on oneself and one's existence. Sadness is the deepest feeling of existence. It is the awareness of our limitation, of our finitude. In this quote, Kierkegaard touches on the existentialist concept according to which sadness is an acknowledgement of human limitation, of the fragility and condition of finitude that characterizes the human experience. In contrast, Stoic philosophy offers a different approach to sadness. The Stoics suggest recognizing that many things in life are beyond our control and that our well-being depends on our reaction to these circumstances. For them, sadness is seen as an emotion that arises from a mistaken judgment or a distorted perception of reality. According to Stoic philosophy, negative emotions such as sadness arise not so much from external events, but from the interpretations we give to those events. Stoic philosophers such as Seneca and Marcus Aurelius taught that sadness can be addressed through rationality and acceptance. Here are some key points about how the Stoics view sadness. You have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize this, and you will find strength. A reminder from Marcus Aurelius that sadness comes from trying to control what we cannot change, while true strength lies in controlling our internal reactions. Sadness occurs when we attribute a negative value to something that happens outside of our control. For example, the loss of a loved one or a failure are experienced as painful only because we think they should be that way. The Stoics argue that we can only control our reactions, our thoughts, and our actions. Everything else, external circumstances, the actions of others, luck, is beyond our control. Sadness then arises when we give too much importance to what we cannot control. According to the Stoics, the way to overcome sadness is to accept the natural flow of life with serenity and rationality. Events cannot be changed, but we can change the way we perceive them. This does not mean that we never feel pain or sorrow, but that we must not be overwhelmed by emotions. Epictetus, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, advised not to get too attached to things or people because everything is temporary. He said that when we lose someone or something, we should remember that it was never completely under our control, and that loss is part of the natural cycle of life. Remember that you are an actor in a play, and that the director alone decides whether it will be short or long. If he wants you to play a pauper, do it with all your skill. The same if you were a cripple, a prince, or a commoner. This aphorism reminds us that each of us has a role to play in life and that we cannot always control circumstances. But we can control how we react to difficulties, including sadness. It is not things that disturb men, but the judgments they make about things. This other aphorism of Epictetus emphasizes that it is not the event itself that causes sadness, but the way we interpret it. The Stoics argued that the highest good for human beings lies in virtue, wisdom, and righteousness. Sadness, seen as an emotion that distances us from a state of inner serenity, is considered an obstacle to living according to virtue. Cultivating virtue and wisdom, on the other hand, helps maintain emotional balance even in adversity. If you suffer from any external cause, it is not what harms you, but your judgment about it, and you can erase this judgment in an instant. Seneca highlights the Stoic idea that we can always change the way we react emotionally to events. Everything that happens as it should, and if you look carefully, you will see that it is so. Seneca emphasizes the importance of accepting the natural flow of events, reducing the sadness that comes from resistance and the expectation that things should be different. Contemporary philosophy also emphasizes the importance of empathy in understanding sadness. Empathy allows us to connect with the suffering of others. Recognizing and sharing the pain of others can help us manage our own sadness and find a sense of community and solidarity. In recent decades, positive psychology has gained ground, proposing a more optimistic approach to well-being. However, even in this context, sadness is recognized as a natural part of life. Contemporary philosophy, integrating psychological findings, suggests that accepting and understanding sadness can contribute to a fuller and more meaningful life. Art has always played a crucial role in exploring sadness. The philosophy of aesthetics questions how beauty and pain can coexist. Artists and philosophers from Arthur Schopenhauer to Theodor Adorno have pondered how art can act as a catharsis, allowing us to address sadness in ways that speak to our collective experience. Life without music would be a mistake. This aphorism suggests that even in times of sadness, art and beauty can offer comfort. Finally, philosophy also addresses sadness through spirituality. Philosophical and religious traditions, such as Buddhism and Christianity, offer different responses to pain and suffering. These traditions encourage reflection on existential questions and the meaning of life, helping people find comfort in times of sadness. Contemporary philosophy does not offer definitive answers to sadness, but it does provide a variety of tools and perspectives for dealing with it. Exploring these emotions can lead to a greater understanding of ourselves and others, helping us live more authentic and meaningful lives. In a world where sadness can feel overwhelming, philosophy invites us to reflect, connect, and find meaning even in pain. Even when sadness seems all-encompassing, let's remember that it's just a transition. Like any emotion, sadness speaks to us and invites us to know ourselves better. Whether through reflection or simple acceptance, we can learn to let it flow without resisting it too much. Every moment of melancholy can become an opportunity to grow, to rediscover what matters, and to appreciate moments of serenity even more. Thank you for sharing this time with me. If this video was helpful to you, leave a comment or share it with someone who might need it. See you at the next deep thought.